Good evening, you're watching the 8 o'clock news. I'm Rishika Barua. Let's get you up to speed with the top headlines. The Indian Embassy in Kabul has put out a security advisory for Indian nationals in Afghanistan, says leave before commercial flights cease to operate. The Supreme Court finds parties over criminal candidates. Mandatory for parties now to publish criminal antecedents of candidates within 48 hours of their selection. The Supreme Court also stopped state governments from withdrawing cases against MPs and MLAs without a High Court approval. With 28,200 new coronavirus cases in 24 hours, it is the lowest for India in 147 days. Cases dip for a fourth consecutive day, but is low testing the real reason? Despite a dip in cases, the rising R rate is a cause of concern across states, with R at 1.3. Cases begin to rise in Punjab again. The government warns that cases are also likely to rise in Himachal, Uttar Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh. Member of Delhi BJP executive, their former spokesperson Ashwini Upadhyay is among the 6 people arrested for violent anti-Muslim slogans at a Delhi rally on Sunday. Ahead of elections in Uttar Pradesh, Prime Minister Modi launches Ujjwala 2.0. Self-declaration of address is enough to get you a gas connection. Gold medalist Neeraj Chopra tells NDTV he will not let his Olympic success get to his head. He credits his family for keeping him grounded. Our top story tonight. Amid the intense fighting with the Taliban, the Indian Embassy in Kabul today has put out a security advisory for Indian nationals in Afghanistan, asking Indians to leave Afghanistan before commercial flights cease to operate. Vishnu Shom joins us with the very latest. Vishnu, what's the evacuation plan?
Well, I think this is the beginning of the end for Afghanistan in terms of the overall control of the government in Afghanistan. It's quite likely that Kabul will remain a fort, and outside Kabul there'd be many problems. Today, the government of India is evacuating Indian nationals and diplomats from Mazar-e-Sharif. That's a very large city to the north of Afghanistan, and they've sent out a tweet and sent out messages to any Indians who actually want to be evacuated along with the diplomatic corps over there to actually leave. But more than anything else, they've also issued a very strong security advisory where they're saying, and I quote, as violence in many parts of Afghanistan has escalated, commercial air travel services to many provinces are discontinued. All Indian nationals visiting and staying in Afghanistan are strongly advised to keep themselves updated on the availability of commercial flights from various parts of Afghanistan and make immediate travel arrangements to return to India. In fact, they've gone further and said that Indian companies operating in Afghanistan are strongly advised to immediately withdraw their Indian employees. So this is as clear a message as possible for evacuation. The government of India telling Indian nationals it's time to leave.
Thanks, Vishnu, for joining us with the very latest. We'll keep a close watch on all those developments. Well, moving on, despite the 2020 order of the Supreme Court, political parties have failed to control the criminalization of Indian politics. The top court today stepped in once again. The court has imposed a fine on 8 political parties. Now, while there are several welcome decisions, and we'll get you those details, it does leave many candidates vulnerable to political vendetta. Here's the full story.
Supreme Court steps in to cleanse politics. Less than a year after the Bihar elections, almost all major parties participating have been held guilty of contempt of court for not widely publicizing criminal background of candidates in Bihar assembly polls. While CPM and NCP have been fined Rs 5 lakh each for not publishing their list of candidates with pending criminal cases, 6 parties including BJP and Congress fined 1 lakh each for publishing the lists in newspapers with relatively low circulation, not the top ones. Now parties have to publish criminal antecedents of candidates within 48 hours of selection, and the Election Commission's been told to monitor this. The verdict says that 51% of the winning candidates in Bihar have serious criminal cases against them like murder, kidnapping, rape, etc. Although it acknowledged a possibility of a rival implicating someone falsely as a political vendetta. Sending out a warning to political parties, the top court said, despite repeated appeals, political parties refuse to wake up from deep slumber, fallen on deaf ears. Political lawmakers will wake up soon and carry out major surgery for weeding out malignancy of criminalization of politics. Though we want to do something urgently, but our hands are tied, we can't encroach the domain of legislature.
क्राइम रिपोर्ट होता है या जो भी केसेस उन पे लगे होते हैं वो सारे वेबसाइट पे पब्लिकली ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल हैं। तो इसमें किस तरीके से बदलाव आएगा मैं नहीं समझ पा रही हूँ और व्हाट इट अचीव्स। अगर सही बदलाव लाना है तो इलेक्शन रिफॉर्म्स बहुत जरूरी है। आई डोंट थिंक ये बिट्स एंड पीसेस में काम होने चाहिए।
In a separate case on speeding up of criminal cases against MP and MLAs, Chief Justice Bench clipped the powers of state governments to withdraw cases against ruling party leaders. The court says states cannot withdraw cases without a High Court's go-ahead. Slamming the centre, Chief Justice of India said, "We were told that the government is very much serious about completion of trials against MPs and MLAs, but there is nothing you have done. We can say this much."
The top court says its hands are tied as it cannot encroach upon the legislative domain to make a law, leaving to the lawmakers to do the needful. But the lawmakers are hesitant to come out with a strong law saying this will be misused to frame innocent politicians. In New Delhi with Sukirti Dwivedi, this is Arunachalam Vaidyanathan for NDTV.
Well, on to India's COVID numbers now, with 28,204 new cases in the last 24 hours. This is India's lowest daily rise in almost 5 months. Cases in the last 24 hours are down 20.5% as compared to the previous 24 hours. Deaths at 373 are also down by 16.5%. Testing in the last 24 hours is up by 10%. We've tested over 15 lakh people, though the testing rate is much lower than what it was compared to a month ago. The daily positivity rate is also below 3% for the last 15 days. It's at 1.8% currently. Now, cases have been below the 39,000 mark for a fourth consecutive day, but India's testing has also dipped, and this is the worrying factor here. There are far fewer tests that we are doing today versus what we were doing a month ago. The question now is, are cases dipping because of low testing? Well, here's the full story.
Cases may have hit a 147-day low today, but the government has flagged a worry in big North Indian states. UP, Madhya Pradesh, even Punjab, Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh have a reproduction number above 1, indicating a growth trajectory of cases. If it crosses 1, then each person with COVID is infecting at least one more person.
अगर रिप्रोडक्टिव नंबर मोर देन 1 है तो हमारे लिए एक मेजर कॉज ऑफ कंसर्न होता है, जिससे पता लगता है कि नए केसेस अधिक गति से आना शुरू हो गए हैं। यानी एक आदमी ने एक से अधिक आदमी को इन्फेक्ट किया, उसने फिर एक से अधिक आदमी को इन्फेक्ट किया और हमारे केसेस की संख्या बढ़ती रहती है।
4 states have an R value of 1 that is already increasing or likely to increase. Punjab is at 1.3 and increasing. Himachal Pradesh is at 1.3 as well and likely increasing. Dr. Chandrakant Laharia, an epidemiologist and public health expert, says that we should avoid being too optimistic about this drop in cases.
At this stage of pandemic, we should avoid simplistic approach of using single parameter to make any inference. Yeah, this is important that number of cases have come down, but we should be mindful that during this period, especially in the last week, number of daily COVID-19 tests done in Kerala and Maharashtra have come down drastically.
The fall in daily cases needs to be taken with a grain of salt. The pandemic is not over and it's too soon for markets to begin crowding like this. At this point, the laggard vaccination drive needs to catch speed. With Xavier Thomas, Meher Pandey for NDTV.
Well, a new debate has now emerged over whether schools in Mumbai should open later this month or post-Diwali. The Maharashtra COVID Task Force is divided on the issue. The state's education minister has announced that schools will reopen on the 17th of August, but when it comes to cities, the wait could be longer.
In the heart of India's financial capital, Kusum Chaudhary's house is still shrouded in darkness at 1 in the afternoon. She lives in Bhimnagar in Mumbai and struggles to access electricity because of poverty. Her son's education has suffered. Anand is in class 5. He cannot charge the phone. In this situation, children play outside all day long.
हम लोग गरीब मनाई हैं, खाने का पूजा है कि बच्चे लोग के यहाँ स्कूल के बुक का पूजा है कि ट्यूशन का भरे फीस भरे.
However, sources say the Maharashtra government's COVID task force has called for the reopening of schools to be pushed back post-Diwali instead of mid-August. The task force reasons children are unvaccinated and the threat of a third wave is very real with new variants. But activists, however, say there is no need to delay and the decision can't be a centralized one.
I would say now the tempo is built. Let's start. By 20th August, 25th August, that's one. Second point I have is that there is urban and the rural factor here. And I think the administration or the government should allow local organizations, I would say the local agencies, should take the final decision.
BMC Education Officer Raju Tadvi says he's prepared to run schools safely from whenever the government allows them to open.
बिल्डिंग पूरा सैनिटाइज कर लेंगे, उसके बाद में बच्चों को कंपलसरी मास्क हम प्रोवाइड करेंगे और जो थर्मल गन है जो टेम्परेचर स्कैनिंग के लिए होता है वो है. जब गवर्नमेंट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र का आदेश आ जाएगा तो उसके ऊपर बीएमसी भी डिसीजन लेगी, आयुक्त महोदय हमारे डिसीजन लेंगे और उस तरह से हम लोग पूरी तैयारी से स्कूल स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. हमारी पूरी तैयारी है.
Principals of private schools say they are ready.
We have ensured that 100% of our teachers are vaccinated and are ready to resume school as soon as we get the directives from the government. We await the directives of the government. Our children are equally excited and eager to join us. We look forward to reopening of the schools.
Although concerns regarding school reopening and COVID are valid, but a generation that is the future of our country is losing out on education, and that is a bigger concern. In Mumbai with camera person Rajendra Dayalkar, Sohit Mishra, NDTV.
Well, 6 men, including Supreme Court lawyer and former Delhi BJP spokesperson Ashwini Upadhyay, have been arrested by the Delhi police in connection with the alleged inflammatory anti-Muslim slogans that were raised at Jantar Mantar on Sunday. Here's the report. A BJP leader, a Supreme Court lawyer, Ashwini Upadhyay is among the 6 people arrested for his role in this protest last Sunday at Jantar Mantar near Parliament, where violent anti-Muslim remarks were made. Upadhyay, who was former Delhi BJP spokesperson, claims he has no relation with the Save India Foundation, who put out tweets and press notes. However, he said he'd been actively promoting the event on his social media. Preet Singh, the president of Save India Foundation, who organized the event, conducted a Facebook Live where he claimed those making anti-Muslim comments are kids who made a mistake.
बच्चा है, बच्चों से गलती होती है. वो गई. मैंने वीडियो देखा, उससे गलती हुई है. हमारे संगठन के किसी भी व्यक्ति ने हमारी आयोजन समिति की तरफ से कोई भी किसी भी जाति विशेष के लिए, किसी भी पंथ, किसी भी मजहब के लिए कोई विरोध के नारे नहीं लगे.
While the Delhi police said no permission was given to the group to conduct the event, Preet Singh seems to be suggesting otherwise.
कार्यक्रम में जो लोग इकट्ठे हुए थे, किसी को कोई किसी प्रकार की परमिशन नहीं थी.
ये कार्यक्रम 100% देश हित में था. पुलिस ने हमारा सहयोग किया, हमने पुलिस का सहयोग किया.
That we had registered an FIR in this matter, and today we have arrested 6 people in this case. We had received an application in which Mr. Ashwini Upadhyay, he had signed that. We had rejected this request.
Meanwhile, Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay Singh attacked the Home Minister and the Delhi police.
देखिए, जब से अमित शाह जी देश के गृह मंत्री बने हैं, दिल्ली की कानून व्यवस्था को कबाड़ा कर दिया उन्होंने.
Delhi has witnessed hate speech and riots in the recent past. While Mr. Ashwini Upadhyay claims that these slogans were made after he left the venue, the president of the organization that organized this event has defended these slogans, calling it an innocent remark. In New Delhi, Shanakshi Chakravarti for NDTV.
Moving on, sources say Prime Minister Modi was reportedly upset at members of Parliament skipping Rajya Sabha yesterday and reportedly raised it at a weekly meeting of party MPs this morning. Prime Minister Modi has even asked for the names of the MPs who were absent. Yesterday, the BJP had ordered all its Rajya Sabha MPs to be present in the House on Tuesday and on Wednesday for key bills to be taken up. Well, months ahead of the crucial state polls in Uttar Pradesh, Prime Minister Modi today relaunched Ujjwala 2.0, granting free gas cylinders to the poor. The new version of the scheme makes it easy for migrants to get gas connections, but the big worry here is how many actually are using the Ujjwala cylinders. Alok Pandey reports.
एकता जी, आप गैस का कनेक्शन इस्तेमाल कर रही हैं, आपको धुएं से राहत मिली, पहले क्या हाल था, किस प्रकार से जीवन चलता था?
A relaunch of the Ujjwala scheme by Prime Minister Modi from UP's Mahoba district just months before crucial assembly elections in the state.
आप सब बहनों का आशीर्वाद बना रहे।
हमारा आशीर्वाद जिंदगी भर, हमारी उम्र लग जाए आपको, ऐसे ही आप बने रहें।
The free cooking gas cylinder connection is now being given to 1 crore more people, mostly migrant workers. Since its launch 5 years ago, there are already 8 crore Ujjwala beneficiaries. Uttar Pradesh, along with Bihar, supplies the bulk of migrant laborers.
अब मेरे श्रमिक साथियों को एड्रेस के प्रमाण के लिए इधर उधर भटकने की जरूरत नहीं है। सरकार को आपकी ईमानदारी पर पूरा भरोसा है। आपको अपने पते का सिर्फ एक सेल्फ डिक्लेरेशन यानी खुद लिखकर देना है और आपको गैस कनेक्शन मिल जाएगा।
The government claims that because of Ujjwala, almost all households in the country now have an LPG connection. But how many of these Ujjwala cylinders are actually getting refilled? According to recent government data, the number of domestic LPG consumers went up by 30% in 5 years after Ujjwala was launched in 2016. But the rise in LPG consumption for the same period was about 10% less. In western UP's Hapur, less than 100 kilometers from Delhi, Husnara Begum's family got a Ujjwala connection in 2017, but has managed just 8 refills in 4 years.
हमारे पास पैसे नहीं है इतने जो हम गैस पर काम करेंगे, हमने इसे चूल्हे पे करते हैं।
This is what it means for the poorest customers. This is how inflation has made it worse for the poorest consumers. In less than a year, the price of a cylinder has gone up by over 200 rupees, while the subsidy is just rupees 35, even for Ujjwala households. With Mohammad Adnan, Jitendra Kishore and Rajesh Gupta, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Well, more political news. Rahul Gandhi, making his first visit to Srinagar since the government scrapped Article 370, has said that the statehood should be restored. He's demanded for a restoration of Jammu and Kashmir statehood and also for the conduct of free and fair assembly elections. Listen in.
सिर्फ जम्मू और कश्मीर पर आक्रमण नहीं हो रहा है, आज आक्रमण पूरे हिंदुस्तान पर हो रहा है। पार्लियामेंट में मैं पेगासस के बारे में, राफेल के बारे में, जम्मू कश्मीर के बारे में, भ्रष्टाचार के बारे में, बेरोजगारी के बारे में नहीं बोल सकता। यहां पे फुल स्टेटहुड वापस मिलना चाहिए और जो लोकतांत्रिक प्रोसेस है जिसको हम इलेक्शन कहते हैं, फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन होना चाहिए।
Well, market update now. Sensex and Nifty ended with marginal gains today amid volatility on the back of buying in index heavyweights like HDFC, Bharti Airtel, Infosys, Kotak Mahindra and Reliance Industries. The Sensex turned volatile in the noon session to end 152 points or 0.2% higher at 54,555, and Nifty 50 index advanced 22 points to close at 16,280. Well, gold medalist Neeraj Chopra has told NDTV that he's not going to let his Olympic success get to his head. He's credited his family for keeping him grounded.
Ye endorsements, the big cash, the big money which will come, how will your life change?
बिल्कुल मुझे लगता है कि पहली बात तो मैं यही बोलूँगा कि मेरा जो पूरा फोकस था अपना गेम पे, मेडल पे था, और अगर ऑटोमेटिकली अगर आप ऐसा कर पाओ तो सभी कुछ स्पॉन्सर्स या पैसे वो आपको मिल जाते हैं, पर बिल्कुल ये चीज़ आएंगी और मैं कोशिश करूँगा कि इनको अच्छी जगह पे लगा सकूँ या फिर जिसको हेल्प चाहिए उसको हेल्प कर सकूँ जो मैं करना चाहता हूँ। और बस सबसे बड़ी बात है कि मेरा फोकस मैं गेम पे रखूंगा और उसी पे मैं रखना चाहता हूं। मैं बस यही चाहूंगा कि ये बस मेरे सिर पे ना चढ़े तो मुझे खुशी होगी और मैं अपना गेम करूं और अच्छे से।
आपके पेरेंट्स और आपके फ्रेंड्स जो आपको शायद सबसे इमोशनली सपोर्ट किया है, उनके बारे में कहिए। आपके पिताजी या माताजी, कौन सबसे बड़े सपोर्टर थे आपके और है?
हमारी फैमिली जॉइंट है और अगर हमारी फैमिली में 17-18 मेंबर हैं तो सभी साथ में रहते हैं और मुझे लगता है माँ बाप की दुआएं और सपोर्ट तो रहा ही रहा और मैं बहुत लक्की हूँ कि जो मुझे मेरे चाचा जी हैं और उनका ही बहुत ज़्यादा मेरे पीछे सपोर्ट है।
आपका नेक्स्ट इंडिविजुअल टारगेट क्या है?
अभी नेक्स्ट इंडिविजुअल टारगेट में अभी नेक्स्ट ईयर जो है हमारे कॉमनवेल्थ एशियन गेम्स और वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप है।
राजपूताना राइफल्स आपके लिए वो उसका इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है आपके लिए?
जो हमारा सेंटर है राजरीफ वो हमेशा ही उसमें बाकी पुराने एथलीट्स भी बहुत अच्छे रहे हैं और वो हमेशा ही स्पोर्ट्स को बहुत ज़्यादा सपोर्ट करते हैं।
Well, on to our big international focus tonight. Cases in the United States are surging once again. Over 1.8 lakh new cases have been reported in the United States in the last 24 hours. The 7-day average of cases in the US is nearing 1.19 lakh compared to around 38 to 39,000, which is India's average. So that's what the top 7 countries currently look like. India ranking third with 28,000 cases. The US ranking a distant first with over 1.84 lakh new cases reported in 24 hours.